Hello, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, the Lost Chevalier, and you're welcome back to another Friday lesson or talking or whatever you want to call it. Hello, it's Akil Brown. Welcome to the show. Hello, Bones. Welcome to the show. Also, how are you both doing? Hello, Saturn Cara. Welcome. How are you all feeling? How was your weekend? How are you going to start the week? I'm like, I know. I just wake up, boys, by the way. I had like a big gaming spree last night. Hello, Brian P, what's up? How are you all doing? I'm so glad to see you all here. I'm fine. Oh, bye. Perfect. well. Haircut. Oh, it's not symmetrical. Was that intentional? Was that an accident? Exploding? What do you mean by exploding? Well, I hope it's not like an emotional thing exploding. Well, also not a physical thing. I hope it's just like I don't know. I have my coffee here because I just wake up. I was playing Stellaris all night. Like, a really long playing session, okay? Well, it was all for good because, in a way, I'm talking about the power of sandbox for games for creatives. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's start the lesson, shall we? So, tell me. What is a sandbox game? Tell me. What sandbox games do you know of? Food poisoning everyone. Oh no, Brian P, no. No, why? The Kara's curse is freaking expanding, it seems. God damn it. Oh no. Gmod, good. What else? Every time someone gets food poisoning in this channel, it will be the Kara's curse. That's a thing. That's part of the lore now. Let's continue. Tell me, what else? Gmod. Tell me more. Come on. There are lots of games that we can talk about sandbox games. Hobby Hustle. What is that one? Wait a minute. Which one is Hobby Hustle? Let me see. Let me go real quick, I'll look it up. You only movies Hustle. This one I haven't heard about. 10 out of 10 though. Oh, okay. It's a fighting game, a stick game. Got it. Good, yeah, sandbox too. A fighting sandbox, yeah. God Simulator, yeah, that's another one. Yes. Roblox? No, Roblox doesn't. Well, kind of. Not necessarily, but yes, it does. It does. So with the player, let's give it like a pass. Yeah, Roblox does. Worldbox. I have played so much. I have it right here. If anyone wants to. I'm waiting for the next update. Oh my. Worldbox indeed. I have it here. Worldbox is one that I just have over here in my computer because it's so good. Another one. Give me another one. Come on, you're not saying the most famous of them all. There's like a super famous sandbox. Come on, you gotta know. I love seeing them build stuff. I also love seeing them build stuff. And now that they have like politics and families and everything, it's so fun to follow them. Indeed. Minecraft. That's the one. Indeed. That's the one. That's Minecraft. What else? Tell me, let's go. 3 more. Tell me 3 more and I will go to the next subject. Come on. Come on. I'm drinking my coffee, by the way. That's why I'm not writing down things. But now I'm going to start. So, first come first. Sandbox games. And we have for those Minecraft. Oh my god, why black? No. Take it away. We have Minecraft, one of them. Minecraft is one. Then we have Worldbox. Then we have that game that you say about the what was the name over here? Yummy Hustle, of course. Yummy Hustle, yeah. You have seen a lot of like big sandbox games too, okay? You have seen a lot. Okay, you have seen a lot. Just going to say that, my class. I'm just going to say that. Yummy Hustle, and then we will have like The Sims. Yeah. Also, well done, Saturgara. The Sims is one of the big ones too. One of the big players in the sandbox genre. The Sims. Indeed. That's one of the big ones. There is also a big one set in space. That was like a big disappointment on launch, but then it went like super well. And now it's standing with with an amazing. Hello teacher, sorry I'm late. Oh, savage, you already have the thing that says that you missed the class, but you can still join. I hate those kind of teachers, by the way. So, we have that, and that. Now, will we be talking about world building? Indeed! No Man's Sky. You get it, Savage. You get it. Exactly. No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is a great sandbox. Indeed. No Man's Sky. Very well. And so far we have the teams, No Man's Sky. You can name another one, but this time name me one of the strategy or RPG. Come on. I play one. Yesterday. Come on, guys. I played one yesterday. So tell me. Red Dead Redemption. Yes, it counts as a sandbox. And it could count for the thing that we do. Yeah, I will put Red Dead there. Yeah. Also GTA. Yeah. Those two count. Yeah. Red Dead Redemption. Now, I'm gonna ask you another thing. What do these games have in common? This is a little question, just a little one. What do these games have in common? Okay, so it is a sandbox. The same with Stellaris and with Hearts of Iron 4 and with Europa Universalis. All of those are sandboxes. Now, tell me. You have a lot of freedom. Yes! Indeed, you have a lot of freedom. Godly control over things. Yes, indeed. Freedom. Oops, what happened there? Freedom and control. Indeed. What else? Come on. They have sand. Well, if you go for the game Kenshi, yes, you have sand. Let's say that. I'm going to put that in there just as a joke. You have sand. Sand to play with. Perfect. It's something. It's actually there. Why not? Very well. Okay, we have all of that. They have boxes too. Unboxes. Yeah. Let's put that on. Why not? They have set up inside a box to play. It works. It freaking works. Why not? Yeah. It works. Very well. And now I'm going to ask you something like to use, so you realize why all of these games are actually so good for creative people. This is the question, okay? Listen, this is the question. Let me like create a little better in my head, and we have the question. What do you remember more about those games? What do you remember more about those games? For example, doesn't have to be godly, also technical. Most of Spring new releases consider a sandbox, consider it as lackluster. They can be indeed, but then I'm gonna ask you this: what do you remember? Chaos? Yes. I hate this little heart that's over here. I can read the chat correctly. I don't know why. Okay, when that happens. Did it vote last time? Yeah, we got 3 people and somehow we still tied. Indeed, we did. Welding a lot of it. Yeah, welding. Yeah. Yeah, but that is like the technical aspect of the game. What do you remember about that? But what about the experience? What do you remember about the experience? Do you have any funny story to tell about the world you created or the character you were playing in a sandbox? That's the thing. For example, D&D is a sandbox in a way. Killing? Well, that's something. Yeah, indeed. One can do that. Indeed. What other story do you have? Something a little more elaborate, perhaps? Perhaps a story of romance, or a story of peril, or a story of how a village overcome a drought, or a curse, or something like that. The only game amongst the list I played the most is Minecraft. I only remember creating a family of wolves. Well, you have there. Except about the sandbox bugging out and it looked like the end of time. And then, with all of that said and done, this is the most important part of it all. What about those games? This is the most important part of it all. It helps the player create their own stories. This is the most important part of it all. You had a wonderful family of wolves, Bones. Well, then, what about a character who lives in the woods and has a family of wolves? You have a short story there, or even a whole book if you want. You have a new character in your head. You already created a new character for a new world of yours. You already have it. You created a character in your head using the tools provided by a game, the mechanics provided by a game. If you play a sandbox game with an open mind, I don't know if I came out of Minecraft skin other than nothing. Indeed. Bounty Chef gets something more original. That's what. Oh my. And so, I didn't know Savage that was a thing of Red Dead Redemption. I didn't play Red Dead Redemption, so I get a pass. So, when you have a sandbox game, let's say for example, Worldbox, do you realize that you have more to tell when you put different species in the same map and they suddenly genocide each other? Then you realize that you have actually a better story. Underwater Minecraft and had a bunch of bent books across the map. See? There you have a story. If you put that little, like, tidbit of information into a grand scale story, like a grand spamming story, Then you have a plot, characters, a mystery even. Without even knowing, those games are giving you all the tools you need to create another thing in your head. Different from the game, completely disjointed from the game. It doesn't have anything to do with the game anymore, but it's your own story to tell. You can change the name of the characters, you can change the name of the land, you can change the aesthetics when you write it. And you have your own thing, but based on your experience in the game. And that is one of the most important things about this, actually. And that is that it creates experiences that are, quote-unquote, real. You can relate more when writing about something that happened before your eyes in a sandbox game. You see what I mean with that? Sinful flashback, indeed. Yeah, indeed. Every game, in a way, is a sandbox, except the linear ones. A sandbox is more specific, actually. It's a game where the story is not set in stone and you can go and do whatever you want. Sandbox, for example, will actually feed Skyrim, more or less, because you can actually do whatever you want with it and go and have your own adventures. And things will start to appear. Baldur's Gate 3, also a sandbox, in a way. But it's sort of revolve around it. It was my hyperfixation for such a long time. Make it one of Minecraft. Yeah, I already did it. That's the thing. Baldur's Gate 3, The Sims. All of them will give you the tools to create something entirely new. Something that the game devs didn't actually accounted for. And if you have enough, if you put enough work into that idea, you can actually, like I say, completely separate it from the game. For example, I was last night playing Stellaris alone. I was just sitting down playing Stellaris. My species was a pacifistic one. Spiritualist, pacifistic, and xenophile. They love everyone, in other words. And they were just chilling until they meet a warmonger in the south that hate their gods because they were pacifistic, right? It's not about the story being linear, it's about the player freedom regardless of the story thing of Red Faction Guerrilla or Far Cry series or GTA and etc. Indeed, that's the thing. Every single game actually is an amazing tool for creatives, every single game. But Sandbox in particular will give you a lot of power for the setting, mostly, and for characters. Because if you go to a game like, let's say, for example, not Red Dead Redemption or GTA, because those are actually like, you know, the fact that you have player freedom, you can do whatever you want. But in games like, let's say, Hollow Knight, although you can use it as a big inspiration for a lot of things, it's a little bit linear. You will not be necessarily creating new characters from those characters because those characters already have a lot of meat and bone. And because they have a lot of meat and bone, well, exoskeleton and bone, depending on their insects, you will actually not be able to create something entirely new, entirely you know, original, I will say, quote unquote. Originality doesn't exist, by the way. It exists, okay, yes, it exists, it does exist, but it's a little tricky to get what is original and what not. It's something that we can actually talk in another stream, maybe next weekend. And for example, in GTA, you have GTA Online, and there chaos unfolds. It's a big sandbox. You can do it with friends, you can do it with strangers, and you can do whatever you want, and it's super fun. And the Far Cry series too, it will give you a wonderful setting to actually play with. And the thing is the experiences. You had a one-off against 5 guys and you managed to survive. How did you survive? How can you relate to that? How can you, like, imagine someone else in the place of the character? Take it. It's taken already. The good stuff was taken since the beginning of humanity. We have taken everything from the beginning. The first creative mind, it wasn't original. Nobody is. Freaking nobody is. Nobody is original, quote unquote, Savage. No one. Everyone is, like we say here, nothing new under the sun. It's a phrase that everybody should actually print in their home. Because that's the thing, there is nothing new under the sun. So, recipe for the go for a character will pick regardless of how stupid it can be. Indeed, indeed. For example, I have 2 stories to tell actually, okay? I have actually 2 stories to tell from my last gaming session. Let's go, let me see. Sandbox, what do you know? What do you know about those games? The thing is, the experience is the important part. And then you will get... Well, actually, we'll ask another thing before I go to my personal experiences. Is this. The memorable moments you create. The memorable moments you create are your own. You can create wonderful moments. You just need to twist the names and locations, and it is done. That's all you need to do. It's a natural that you adopt another artist's art style because you will eventually get your own style over time. Indeed, indeed. That's how it works. Also for writing and for a lot of things. That's how it works for almost everything about creatives. We basically are a copy of 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 a copy, and because every copy is imperfect, every copy is unique. That's how it works. So. We have all of that done. For example, I had yesterday, like I say, last night I was playing, like an example. I was playing Stellaris, okay? Stellaris is a wonderful game. It's a wonderful sandbox, by the way. So, Stellaris is a wonderful sci-fi, okay? And I had Pacifistic Empire, neighboring, honor-bound empire who wanted us dead because we were pacifist. Result was an escalation in the an increase in power to keep the peace. Eventually war broke out, but the pacifists won. The result of this victory was a military sentiment sweeping across the empire. Pacifism as a guiding ethos was abandoned. Now conquest was on the table. You have a setting there. You have a setting. You have a setting and you can do whatever you want with it. There you have it. There you have a setting. There you have a scenario. There you have something of world building. I didn't use any of the technical things of the game. I didn't use any of the technical names I saw in the game. I just put the basics and I have a setting that I can do whatever I want with it. I can write about a priest that is actually sad that we are leaving away our pacifistic ways, or I can put it from the perspective of the other side that suddenly are surprised that the pacifistics are actually kicking their ass. And then they become militaristic and they start going after them. How is that even possible, they ask. They don't understand. Or maybe they're proud, they say we infuse them with the military might to be able to defend themselves. We are proud of our children, and they get their asses kicked regardless. You have a whole idea there, you have a whole universe there, you can do whatever you want with it. That's the power of sandboxes. There you have a whole story, a short story, a long story, whatever you want. You created your own story in a game that doesn't necessarily have a linear path, so you can actually go and explore and do whatever you want. It's an amazing feeling. It's an amazing game. What are sandboxes good for? That's a good question that I will put down immediately. I don't know why I feel that maybe the chat is not loading. I don't know why. No, it is. Okay. So, what is next? We go over here and we put... Over here we will put down... By the way, start writing down the memorable moments that you had in games. Do not tell me what game did you get it, okay? Just tell me like I write here. I write it like what happened in your game that was so memorable. It can be funny, sad, action-packed, whatever. Write it down there in the comments, in the comment box, and just go bananas with it. Tell me your most, like, the most memorable thing you have done in a video game that you can actually create this story with. That you can actually, like, say, okay, I can turn this into a short story. I can turn this into a book. I can turn this into a series. I can turn this into something else apart from the video game. And I can actually take it away from the video game. That experience that I have, that unique experience that I have, I can take it away from the video game and make it my own. And create my own thing without ever being able to be traced back into the thing. They like playing pretend but digitally. Oh my. So that's the thing, and then we're gonna go for what do sandboxes do in your brain when playing? Well, a good sandbox. A good sandbox. I write that. A good sandbox. RPGs included. Will create characters, scenarios, settings, plots, even, and an overarching narrative. Because, for example, I know where this went, okay? I know where all of this thing about Stellaris yesterday went, in a sense of like what happened to after the war. You can give foreshadowings of that. You can do a lot of things. Because you already know the ending of the story, in a sense. You can actually, or even you can change it. For example, in this war, they weren't like big space battles, but I can create them. You can just add the things that you want to, like, give a spot in the podium. Maybe you want to put a lone fighter fighting against everything. Well, in the game that's impossible. You cannot have one single ship defeat an entire fleet. But in your book you can do it. See what I mean? You don't need to follow the rules or necessarily what happened in the game. You can actually just take the framework and then do the rest. But you don't need to, you know, you don't need to necessarily use the mechanics of the game in your tale, and that's really important. I don't know, this one day make 5 and go burr with it, doing goofy stuff. Indeed. Abanada, welcome Banabai, welcome. Welcome. So, how are you doing, Banabai? Everything okay over there? Welcome. I remember you. I know who you are. Welcome. I hope everything is fine over there. I hope everything is better. Very well. So, let me think. So, this is what they do. They will create characters, scenarios, setting, plots, and overarching narrative. Okay, it's very important to do. If you're gonna play a game that you know that it's not linear in a sense of, like, say, Metroid or Metal Slug, for example, or stuff like that, just keep an open mind. and you will be able to absorb, you will be able to enjoy, you will be able to just have that creative rush in your head. Your brain, if you got it trained enough, will actually start creating stories on its own. You will not need to do almost anything, you just need to play, and suddenly your brain will create the other scenario. It will grab the information that you're feeding to it and it will start applying it in an original setting. That's how it works, that's how it goes, and it's amazing. That's how a freaking great sandbox works in your brain for creatives. And for other people too. Because, do you have a memorable moment, for example? There is a veteran healer of a level 100 plus, yeah. In a party of newbies, a mage, a fighter, a rogue, later another newbie like a healer. He found their poster asking for a healer at the tavern because they keep failing quests. He carried them hard, then laughed the newbie healer, then talked the newbie healer how to be a better healer. Later they level up to a much higher level than him. See? There you have a beautiful story. Just strip away the leveling system, in the case that you want to do it like a fantasy setting, like a hard fantasy setting. Just strip away the leveling of the thing, and you have a mentor. You have a mentor helping other people that are not necessarily like the best fighters, rogues, and all of that. And then, if you actually want to put it a little more spicy, the super healer, this super character, this legendary guy, is in disguise and actually posing as a nobody. There you have another story. Like another layer on the story. See? There you have it. You have a novel, you have a whole novel there. You have a whole novel, you have a whole story, you have everything. That's how it works, that's how you do it. That's the most beautiful thing about sandboxes, is that you actually get that. You get that story, and that story is yours. And you can then twist it a little, and you have a book. And you can enjoy it. And do whatever you want with it. That's exactly how it works. That's exactly the power of a great sandbox game. Enjoy. That's how it works. Perfect. See? If you're ever short on inspiration, or maybe you are just a little like wanting something new to happen in one of your stories, just go and play a sandbox game. Go and play Minecraft, go and play whatever you want. And you will just have that story that you're craving to write. You can go and play an MMO, you can go and play Helldivers for all I know. Helldiver is an amazing game to actually use to create action scenes. Just change the characters, just change the factions, and you have a solid, heavy, freaking battle. A cinematic battle, cinematic experience. Change everything, just keep the firing, just keep the battle on the place, and then you have it. For 2 years not realizing you can do parties, I was over level. Because you can turn that into a backstory. It did too, you can do that also. You can also do that, and that's amazing. That works too. It's amazing. Let's do this for example. Okay, I'm going to put like a little bit of a like mental health thing that it could be relatable to some people in the future. But let's say this: a wizard who is inside the autism spectrum doesn't necessarily go with other people, but he doesn't go with other people not because he doesn't like them, but because he doesn't realize he can go with other people, and when he does, his whole world explodes because he can suddenly go against the giant scary dragon that he wasn't able to go before because he knew he will die, and now he's just like, yeah, I can do it, now I have a fighter here, or a healer, or whatever. Like that moment of realization of the character where he goes like, oh, I could go with you. Somebody who is so set on their own way of doing things suddenly realizes that he can do it. He can do it different. Like, he's there saying exactly that. He's there saying, I do everything alone. Does everyone do things alone? And everyone looks at he suddenly steps across like a camp or something, and he doesn't have provision, so he sticks around. But he feels like an outcast, and he feels weird. He doesn't feel comfortable with other people around. And then he goes around and he asks, like, for example, what are you doing? And the other people say, like, oh, we're going against the Lich. And this guy is like, wait. What do you mean that you're all going together? Isn't that one guy thing always? And they look at him and they go like, no, how are you going to fight a Lich alone? And the guy's like, but my father told me that if I can't bear my own weight, then I'm never going to be good enough. And then you have a whole story. With daddy issues even. See? A story there. All because you play an MMO. You just need to strip away the gaming aspect of the story, and you have a solid story. A really solid story. If you just give the character, who is just a husk, the game character that is just a husk, with you inhabiting it, and not necessarily like interacting fully with the world, and you just give it like that full interaction with the world and the backstory and everything, there you have it. You have a book. A book about a wizard that is a little bit autistic and doesn't realize some social cues, and doesn't realize that he doesn't need to go alone all the time. Boom. You have your next bestseller. I could actually write that down. That idea is actually pretty good. I love the ideas that comes out in these situations. They're so cool. That's how it goes. That's why video games is so important for creatives. The same with other books, by the way. I mean, today we're talking about video games, but you can actually get inspiration from everywhere. History, books, manga, comics, whatever you want, you can get inspiration out of them. Just like I say, it's not plagiarism, it's inspiration. Inspiration is the most important thing of them all. Just take away the core concepts of what you're reading, what you're experiencing when you're reading those things. What you imagine the character should do, all of that, just take it away and you have your own thing. That's the thing. A good creator, I will say this, and you can put me on record, but it's fun because I read it someone else, I believe, but a good creator is a thief. Okay? A good creator, a good content creator, a good well, not content creator, I mean like a culture creator, somebody who breeds culture, who creates culture, is like a collectionist of sorts, and a thief collectionist that likes to see things and wants to recreate them, but with its own twist. That's how you get great novels. For example, Game of Thrones. The idea of the hero waiting at the end of this in the first book is completely subverted and he gets decapitated. That is because the creator saw that story play out a million times, and the only thing he had to do was to change the ending. Was to put, okay, the hero has everything going for it, he has the guard ready, he has everything ready to imprison the horrible queen and the bastard son. Well, he didn't die. He only made the twist at the end. He put all the hero's journey up until the end. And in the end, just give it a twist. And that twist was something that nobody was expecting. No one who didn't read the book, of course, who was just watching the series. And they were all like, well, there goes Stark. His head will roll on the floor and that's it for him. But that is all information the writer absorbed from other places. He had a mix of fairy tales and real life story, and then you have it. Inspiration, creating something new, something that nobody else saw coming. It's incredible. So. Let me just show you real quick. Let me go over here and let's Grammarly. Let me see. So, this is all they do, okay? A good sandbox will give you all of that. What are they good for? So, this is the last question I will put over here. What are they good for? Well, they're good for this, okay? They are good for, like I say, just creating the setting, creating the plot. Those are the most important things they can do. What you should do as a writer though, what you should do as a creator here. You need to do this, okay? You need to give it a twist or more depth or depth, twist, more details. You have, this is the one thing that I have to say, never use the game technicalities for explaining what is happening. Never use that. Never use that. Never use the game technicalities for explaining what is happening. Use emotions. Use interactions. Use mystery. Use things that are not traceable to a gaming scenario. That's the most important part. I have a story on fighting who use giant knuckles. We're punching cute things for their fur. Everybody will say he can obtain fur this way until I may stop them. Indeed? Well, just that's the story over there. That's the story over there. That's the story over there. There you have it. There you have a silly story. That's comedy. That's just comedy. You can totally use it. You can totally use it. A fighter that is so dumb that he thinks that any skin will do. He thinks that he can just punch things and get out of them what he needs. And the truth is that every time he's so strong that when he punches the things, the cute things, he just obliterates them, makes them into mush. So the skin is lost. There is no use in it. So I would say instead of a mage, I would say actually a mage and a rogue approach. Give him a knife or a bow and arrow and say to them, you need to pierce them, not pulverize them. So please do that and we will get the skins. There you have a story. That's a funny story. That's comedy for you. That's super comedy, Saturn Kara. That's comedy. That's a great story over there. I love it. But remember, never use the mechanics of the game as a way of the storytelling. Create something more real, more akin to reality, more relatable. Don't say a fighter level 13. No. Say a fighter so strong that he could destroy a wall with his bare fist. Or say like a healer who could bring back a man from the brink of the dead even if every single part of the body was missing. If he still has his brain, he can bring it back. There you have your healer level 150. But you never say that you have a healer at level 150. Never say that. Never use the levels. Never use the stats. Never use any of those things that are just mathematics. Use creativity. Use your own words. Explain with emotions, with images. Do not explain with numbers. One thing that I hate about anime, well, I hate it from this anime in particular, okay? The anime, it's called The 7 Deadly Sins. Most of you might know about it. It's pretty mostly famous. First season was awesome. I enjoy it. It was fun. It was overwhelmingly powerful, The 7 Deadly Sins. It was wholesome also. It was actually kind of cool. It was a little creepy sometimes, but that was kind of cool. But then, in the second season, the first thing they introduced, and I was so pissed off that I just left the anime and just walked away and never watched it again, was the fact that they suddenly make everything a mathematics game. Suddenly, the pig and other characters were like, oh yeah, they're power levels. What do you mean they're power levels? Oh yeah, and you can see them with this magical eye, take this. And then you have a number, and you know exactly who's going to win, or how it's going to win, or who is going to overcome that level and become a little more stronger, or only that. That's it. You kill the whole show. You kill the whole imagination on the people who's watching, because now you have a freaking numbers game. It's a numbers game. And it isn't a sci-fi setting. For example, Dragon Ball Z, that is actually a place where power level is actually something that you can measure because it's sci-fi. It's a mix of sci-fi fantasy, it's a mix of everything actually, that's amazing. But the thing also is that in Dragon Ball Z, the power levels are not set in stone, and the whole thing is actually used for one season when they are out of space, and then they just stop using that and they just start feeling the key and all the power levels and all that. They just feel it. They don't need the instrument anymore because it's completely flawed, and that's how it works. That's how you do a good thing about power levels. You do it in a setting where it makes sense. In a fantasy setting, having levels or points or whatever, it's completely like it gets you off. It's just like, well, now I know everything. What is next to know? And even if you have a character that can hide their power level, you do not feel anything because whatever, you know, if he's hiding his level, well, he's 10 times stronger than the main character. That's it. That's it. And the main character is going to need to train a little, and then he's going to be able to defeat them. The thing in Dragon Ball Z was just that, the number was a suggestion. The number was a suggestion. You had like the level that was a little lower, the fight, and just defeated the big one. Because they use wits on sheer power of will alone. But in other places, it's just a waste of time. Do not ever use power levels. They're a way to measure strength, or in the sense of like saying just 10 dexterity points, just 10 strength points, or stuff like that. Link that to the Dungeons and Dragons sheet and the sheet of the characters in the game. Do not use it when creating a story. Use it if you want to describe the characters. That's how you go. And if it's in a pineapple under the sea. Indeed. So you need to create like that. Just like that. That's the way to do it. Never use, like I say, even in sci-fi, unless it's IQ or something like that. Never use the strength or the thing like a stat. Unless you want to do a super sci-fi, like everybody has a role and everybody has a set amount of strength and all of that. But even if you do that, you need to like use another measurement. It's like if you put it too gamey, the thing will be lost. It's like this is a video game, this is not a book, so you need to actually describe the things. If your character has 200 points in strength and 1 point in intelligence, you can say he was strong as a ram to the gates, but he was as stupid as a log. There you have it. Then you have your stat now: 1 in intelligence and 100 in strength. There you go. But you don't need to say like the character has that amount of power. Said, done. I'm going out now. That's not how you do it. Same, for example, for fantasy things. If you want to create like a super big battle, but in the game only happen like, I don't know, 1,000 troops versus 1,000 troops, but you say, no, I want to be 10,000 versus 10,000, you can do that. Just inflate the numbers, or deflate them if you want. You can make it like, no, there were only 10 knights against 1,000 enemies and they won. Do that. You can do that. Remember, change. Do not absorb it as a fact. What you saw in the game is not a fact. You need to make it your own and just twist it the way you want. That's how you that's how you use a sandbox game. When you want to create something or you want to get that extra of influence and imagination. The same is amazing for day-to-day life, for example. You get a guy who goes to work, who comes back, do all of those things and just live a normal life. Well, put something different there. You have all the freaking like schedule of the character. Well, throw something that they didn't have. For example, you have a character that just wakes up and go to work, come back and eat, watch TV, and that's all. That's everything he does. well, in your imagination, throw a potential couple at the mix. You know how your target character behaves, you know exactly what kind of person he will like or she would like, and well, now you have that character going. For example, in my yesterday's Crusader Kings game, we have 3 civil wars in the Kingdom of England. What happens if I take away the name England out of that? And I just create a new fantasy setting. I have something new. Or maybe I want to use England and just create an alternative history. But I will not use the fact that the character has the 10 martial, 20 learning, or anything like that. I would just describe them. Say how they were, say how they behave, say what they did after the battle, say what everything. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. You transform every data the game gives to you into words. Not numbers, words. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. See? Great. Well, let's go then to a practical example, okay? Let's go real quick to a practical example. I will just boot up over here Stellaris, okay? I will boot up Stellaris because that's what I have been playing. Let me just start the Microsoft thing, the Xbox thingy. Let's go over here to my library. Let's put Stellaris on. Come on, no. What happened? Put the Stellaris on. There we go. Put it to play. I'm just going to show you a second of it, so you will be able to like understand like a way to like absorb that information and create it into something new. Show you real quick, and then I think we will end the stream and I will open up the thing for questions. So don't go, because we will have questions after this. Well, questions for you to me, that's what I mean. So if you want to start throwing questions, by the way, throw them. Remember, I'm a teacher here. If I'm a teacher, I'm hoping for all of you to ask questions. So please, go ahead and ask any question you want. It can be related to the subject or not, I will answer. I didn't study for this. I'm not going to question you, you can question me. Don't worry about it. Oh my. Let's resume the game though where I left it. And once we have done that, can I have chimken? Chimken? You want chicken? Chimken? Yeah, you can. You can have it. As long as it's not more of the egg thing that you used to eat that actually gave you like the stomach aches at Imkara, you can do whatever you want. As long as you don't go for the freaking egg thing, the egg nut, you will be fine. It wasn't egg nut, it was egg butter. I don't remember. What was it that gave you the freaking food poisoning? That curse that is ravaging this community. No promises, oh no. Oh no. Please stop and start looking at the expiration date of things. Egg butter, oh no. Oh no, the memories. Oh no. Okay, so this is going to be done, and so we have over here the game. Let me just load it. Let me take out the music of the game so we can actually like see the game in question, and I will give you a practical example. Preparing the game. Yeah. Let's take away the music. Pause. Very well. Take away the music of the game, and now we will go into a gaming stream. Let me just give you a second. And here we go for this, and this will be, where is it? Here it is. And I'm back. Very well. See this? This is Stellaris, you know it very well. I played here on the channel, okay? This is my empire. This is one over here, this blob over here, the Anemon and Confederacy. Okay, this species is a species of, no, not this one. This species is a species of plants. Here you have them. They are an invasive species, which is fun. And it has a lot of negative traits. Okay, you want to know what's fun about all of this? It's the next thing. They are creating the perfect worlds. You have a story over there. They are now having all of this done. They managed to conquer from here all of this. From this guy over here, who was a freaking fanatic militarist, and we were pacifist. But after the First War, We reject pacifism and we became fanatic spiritualists though. It's an amazing thing. And you have a whole story of battles, of mercenaries, of betrayals, of all the things that you can create. You can make villains inside your own ranks that actually in the game weren't there. People who were thinking about defecting to the other side maybe. Or you can have a lot of things, okay? You can create so many stories in this game. All the battles that I remember were in this system over here. I just need to change the name of the system and I'm done. Or maybe even use this name because there are so many names and they are publicly available. But just like here, they fight here, they died. And there were like, I don't know, hundreds of ships fighting and a space station filled with defenses. And it was a fight for the ages. And that is why we rejected pacifism after we won, because we realized we can be better. It was a weird thing, okay? It's like we can conquer them. We can actually reach peace by conquering our enemies. And that's a whole overarching plot that you can use. A whole overarching plot, a whole thing you can use. And then, of course, you have, if you want, usual works in the worlds. Stuff like that. You can do a lot of things. It's a lot of fun to play a sandbox game and use it to your advantage. It's the best thing you can do. That's how it works. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. So grab the thing and give it a twist. How's the game going? We're not doing the game. We're actually Disculpa. Welcome, Disculpa 31. We're not playing a game. We're actually writing lesson today. If you want to stay, thank you, and remember to leave a like. I would really appreciate it. You can do all of that with games. I could create a whole overarching narrative about maybe one admiral that wants to go back to their wife or their animals or whatever, or their mascot at home, their dog. You can do whatever you want. You can just do whatever you want and you have the characters. The characters will flow into you. You just need to see the overarching plot, the overarching scenario, and the characters will just pop up. It will just appear in front of you. You will know exactly what the character is like. And if you have the writing brain like already smooth and ready to work, the thing will happen so naturally that you would not even notice it. Like, for example, when you say something here and I just throw away a story, just like that. Well, I'm now in a game jam and I actually was able to do the story of the whole game jam game in the, like, I believe it was 5 minutes. I did everything I needed to do. I created the game basically. It was fun. So, that's how you use the sandbox games. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? Any questions about recommendations on sandbox game? Something about like what genres you usually use sandbox games for? You can use it for whatever, by the way. Whatever you want to ask away now before the stream ends. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, do it. Remember when I forget to read the title? Yeah, don't worry about it, Disculpa. Don't worry. Don't worry. Do not worry. It's fine. We play games all other days, but today is the writing lesson. Thank you for coming, though. So, that's how it goes. Anybody has any question about creative games and stuff like that? Like, creative games, I mean, games for creative people or games that I can actually like spark your how to make a sandbox that's linear. Let me think about it. I might be able to actually give you an answer. Humans fall flat. There you have it. Sandbox that's linear. You go from A to B, but in the way you can do whatever you want, but B is irrefutable. You cannot escape for it. But you can do whatever you want in the meantime. There you have your linear thing. You have your sandbox that's linear. Sandbox that's linear is basically a game that allows you to do whatever you want, but you always will end up in the finish line. Humans fall flat, and all the games akin to those. A sandbox games just role plays. They could. It depends on your approach to them. Because there are different types of people, obviously, right? You have people who go into a game, for example, like Stellaris, another one. That's a very good answer. He did. Indeed, I know, Savage. I know my craft. Do not even dare to delete that. Do not even dare to delete that. That will stay there. Please allow me to put it like that. I will keep that there. I hope you can delete it if I do that. Do not delete that. There you go. You're up there now. You are fixated. So, sandbox games are actually role-playing games, but you can actually turn them into mathematics too. Don't pin me. Yeah, I did. I pinned you. The pin of shame. No. The pin of my accomplishment. Is the pin of my accomplishment because I managed to give an answer to an answer that it thought that was not answer. That it hadn't had a positive answer, and it actually did. Like what you do in the end for you to play the new game plus, you need to do the same stuff from before. Barely anything changes, right? Indeed, it could be, but it's more of a sandbox game in the sense of like you have a lot of side quests that you can go to. And you can actually do like a lot of things, but it's actually kind of linear indeed. But it's same with Skyrim in a sense. It's like it gives you so much like so much freedom, and at the same time they didn't give you enough freedom to actually be a pure sandbox thing, because you cannot like interact with every single character. Every single character has a set already predefined lines to follow. So that's the thing. And it's like pretty like a straight line and pretty linear in that sense. It's not like you have like 1,000 options like say Baldur's Gate, where you can actually do whatever you want. Totally. That's exactly how it goes. I love that one. I love that answer. I love that question, I mean. That was great. And the New Game Plus is like a sandbox, and at the same time it feels lackluster because it lacks a lot of the things to make it like a true sandbox, I will say. For example, our sandbox game, in a sense, will be... I don't know if you ever play this, but it's a really old game, okay? Patrician 3 is a game about the Hanseatic League, that means the League of Commerce that was in the Northern Sea during the Middle Ages and Renaissance. It's a game about trade. You just go around trading. You have your own character and you just like go around trading. You have a trading company and your objective is to get rich. Well, you can be rich by many means. You can do a big story about that, about commerce, about offer and demand, about reaching the destination before your competition. You can do it historically, or you can just change every single name and landscape, and you have something new. Add dragons if you want. You have something even newer. Something even like more fantasy inclined. It's one of the things. All of those games are amazing for exactly that. Starfield. A lot of them are great. For example, one game that I wouldn't say that is like a sandbox game in the sense that it would not create like your own story in your head will be Mass Effect. The reason why Mass Effect does not create a story in your own head in the same way like let's say Kenshi or other games do, like for example Stellaris or all of them, mostly strategy games, but some of the other ones too, like GTA Online for example. The fact why Mass Effect do not make like this wave of like your own characters in the screen is because the characters in that game are so strong. In the classic Mass Effect, by the way, not the last one that came out. My face is tired for all the things. No, I mean the real Mass Effect. Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, not Andromeda. They have actually characters that are so strong that your brain does not want to create new ones. Your brain actually accepts the characters that are given and embraces them and enjoys them. So you're not thinking about creating something new, you are interested in enjoying the experience that you're given, which is a big difference. You can grab the setting maybe as an inspiration thing about the fact of an ancient threat coming back, but that you can get it from everywhere. You can get it from Warhammer, you can get it from Mass Effect, you can get it from Stellaris, you can get it from everywhere. It's a common trope in sci-fi, the fact of an ancient race coming back to purge the galaxy because whatever. Because reasons. Reasons beyond our understanding. That's how it goes. Indeed. So, yes, an earlier game could be something like Age of Empires. Yep, or Total War game, indeed. You lose and gain territory, but rarely you end the same way you ended. That's a great thing. The Total War games actually were a big contribution factor to my writer's journey, I will say. I have nothing published yet, I mean, but because of economical reasons, it's a little expensive, a little bit too expensive. But the thing is that, indeed, those games, especially Age of Empires and Total War, I was able to understand battles. First, with Age of Empires, I was able to understand like the general idea. That was my first game. Age of Empires, I was able to create these big battles with fewer units, and because they were fewer units, I was able to create like characters of each of them. The knights, the footman, the spearman, everybody have a role, everybody have like a name, because there are not like 1,000 units in the screen, there are just like 20 or 50 at a time, maybe 100. I don't remember the exact number you can make in thing. And you can make like last dance things, and even the classic, you're playing Age of Empires, you're losing, you pick one peasant, you send it off, and you try to reveal someone else, knowing that you will eventually be found out and killed, but you have a little story about a renegade guy who started a new life outside, and then they come back and hunt him down. And it's like an amazing story, and then you can spin that around and make it that it doesn't happen like in the game, your character does not die, your city is not burned again, but you actually manage to fence them off, and then with some diplomatic shenanigans, you actually manage to be recognized as people who deserve to be alive, for example. That's a good thing of Age of Empires. And then the Total War games, the first one I played was Rome 1 Total War, actually gave me a sense of strategy, like surrounding enemies from behind, cavalry use, spears, troops, siege warfare, all of that. And it gave me the scale that I didn't have before, the amount of soldiers, the anonymity in war, except for the general. And then I had like the same amount of characters I had in an Age of Empires thing, but in a larger scale. I had the footman that was the main character fighting there, the legionary, or whatever I wanted to make it out to be. And you just take those games and, like I say, you give it a twist. You give it your own names, your own agenda, your own like soul to it, and you have your own thing. That's how I actually managed to like have inspiration for a lot of things. Battles that were actually impossible to win, I won them. And it was like, okay, this was possible for this reason. I could do this again, but I could write it down. I remember Rome 1 Total War. 2 units of, I believe, the first units you get as Rome. The prince, not the princeps, the one before, the Astartes, no, the basics. Those 2 of those units, I believe they make a total of 250 soldiers, and then the general that was part of the royal family, so he was a horseman. Oh no, it wasn't that. It was 3 units of the basics. They were not even a general. I remember 3 units of the basics. They were facing a whole army of Gauls. The whole army of Gauls were the basic units, but they were a lot of them. I mean, they were like surpassing number 1 to 10, I believe. The thing is that we stood fast. They stood fast. They managed to defeat this overwhelming foe. These 3 units against 20. They managed to do it by sheer discipline alone. And the result was that that guy was ascended and adopted to the royal family of the Romans I was playing with. It was amazing. I feel like testing the game, ask them for alliance. They say yes. See? You have it. You have there a whole story to tell. Like, you have there a whole story to tell, indeed. See? There you have it. That's an amazing story. If you turn it into a fantasy setting, or you, like, alternate history, or whatever you want. Or you can even use it as a sci-fi setting, or really, whatever you want. Any genre, every whatever. You can just have that same scenario play out but with words and with a plot in it. Two armies, they suddenly one side declare war, the other one defends. The attacker attacks, gets defeated. They send an envoy, and the envoy say, okay, you fucked so well. You know you cannot defeat us in the long term, so let's do this. You deserve to be our ally. On the other side is like, yeah, we don't have a choice, and we actually like to fight you too. So I think we can actually make a big cooperative thing here. And then you have a whole story about these two factions that suddenly became allies and went to war together and go. That's not a story there. That's a big story. Well, for example, me in Shogun 2 Total War, I have a siege battle that I wasn't supposed to win, okay? It was just one army versus 3. I managed to win, and the only survivors went literally 100 guys. The battle was so bloody and so contested, so freaking crazy. Only 100 guys survived. The 2 generals I have in that army, and I believe some units of samurai and ashigaru, and the rest were dead. It was like, I don't know, I believe it was 3,000 troops against like 50,000. We managed to defeat them, just defending this little castle. After that, we need to bail out because there was another army coming, and it was like, yeah, we are not going to do this. The 2 generals, one of them was the shogun itself, and the other was the other one, and we just bail out. You have a whole story there. The story of the guys fighting to the end in that castle and winning, and then saying, like, after the battle, they have news that there is another army coming, and they are like, we could stay but we will die, so we are going to abandon this, and came back later, and they do that. That's how you go. It's an amazing thing, I love it. Yeah, games like the Total War games are amazing for the diplomatic and battle aspect. You will actually get a lot of juicy experiences out of that, a lot of juicy, like, scenarios, characters, and everything from them. The Age of Empires too, because Age of Empires gives you a more personal approach because of the amount of units you have, so you can actually create the band of adventurers, mercenaries, or whatever you want, and you can actually make them a character, every single one of them, and make them face unrelenting odds and always survive. Rome Total War has a more visceral approach in the sense that the whole setting will not actually trigger in your brain the whole idea of a hero, but more the idea of an army. That's how we go. Making canon that both armies were impressed with each other and decided to make an alliance. See? It was kind of the book how they leaked their weirds were 3 on 1 general. Jesus Christ, that's a lot actually. Wow, you face a very, very, very high foe there. I'm glad you managed to survive. So, that's your whole... that's a big story there. You have it. Or for example, in the Total War games, where you go around bribing everyone, that's actually a very good story too, about the bribing of a whole army that just disappears because the other side just went in like, hey, we have gold. And they are like, hey, we will take it. And they just disperse, and you're like, yep, I won. See? You have a whole lot of possibilities. It's amazing. It's just amazing. I love it. I just love games that are sandbox and RPG, and that you can just take their information and create something new with it. You can create, like you say, your headcanon, your canon, your own thing is the best. Same with Stellaris and all of that. These are the games I recommend for all of that, okay? These are my personal pick for this. By the way, I wanna say, first come first. The School Part 31, I want to say to you, we do streams almost every day, except for 2 days a week, I believe. So if you want to stay, I would recommend to subscribe. And if you have a Discord, we have a Discord server. Savage can give you a link if you want. Or maybe I seem to become banned only for it to revolt the third place. Indeed. That's actually too cool. Imagine that you bribe the senator of a city or the king or whatever, and suddenly they're part of the empire, and the people is like, no. So they rebel, and then you just come crushing them all down, and it's like, holy shit, what just happened? I love it. So what I was going to say is my personal top recommendations from sandbox games, and for what each of them actually work for, okay? These are the one. Oh, by the way, Discord, if you want the Discord link, just say it. Savage will provide it probably, if they're still here. It's a little complicated to know where they are here. So, These are my top recommendations, okay? My recommendation, personal recommendation. Personal recommendations. I know I have write that wrong probably. Let me just... Oh no, this is it. Explain it. Depth. Sorry. English is not my first language, well, especially breathing. Breathing is the problem. Having talk is easy. But writing it down is complicated. So, my recommendations are, for those who are interested, first come sci-fi scenarios. Sci-fi is... better say. Grand scenario slash setting. I will say Stellaris and Total War. Then I will go for characters. Say CK3 and which RPG could it be? Because there are some very good RPG. Well, Sims too. Sims and let me think. I have one in the bottom of my tongue. Well, Kenshi will be one. Kenshi. No, Kenshi. I know exactly which one. What's the name? Get it. Oh my god, I forgot. Forgot the name. Give me a second. The name is... Where is it? Somewhere around here. Go. Oh my god, I don't remember. I can't remember. Oh, it's completely erased from my memory. Jesus. What's the name of this game? Let me see if I can find like this. Ah, RimWorld. There we go. RimWorld is great for the characters. There we go. Great for characters. RimWorld. There we go. RimWorld. And plot. I will say, for example, yeah, CK32 will be, and RimWorld will be 2, and then Stellaris. Basically, all of them are good for the plot, actually. The great scenario and setting, I will say Stellaris, CK3, and maybe even Old World. Mostly strategy. For the grand scenario and setting, I will say strategy because they are the most sandboxy game you can get. Civ 5 or 6, and well, the Total Wars, obviously, and let me think, which other one? Especially if they have like procedurally generated maps. The Civ 5 and Civ 6 are amazing for that. Millennia too, because the new game, I don't have it yet, but I want it. Millennia, and let me think, well, Europa EU4 and EU4, and well, mostly strategy games. Humankind too, Humankind, yeah. Mostly strategy games. The characters, CK3, RimWorld, Baldur's Gate 3, mostly RPGs. And plot, I would say singular, the Stellaris, games where things are bound to hit the fan. Indeed. That's how it goes. Basically. Oh my god. What do you classify Helldivers 2 as, especially because the story is still being made as we play and the community has some sort of control over it, not just the depth. I will say about Helldivers 2, I will say it's an amazing setting and it has a lot of like triggers that can actually make your imagination run wild, especially with the battles. That is the most important part of it all. And also the fact that you can actually influence the thing keeps you inside the IP, which is really good, because you can become canon yourself. And the depths are amazing. I will qualify it as a massive sandbox with a really hardcore set of rules, but rules that are flexible enough that you can actually mold them a little. You can play with them and create your own story completely. That's how it goes. And Helldiver is an amazing take on a utopia slash dystopia at the same time. It's just incredible. It's a great game, it's an amazing thing, and it's just enjoyable as hell. I haven't played yet because I don't have it, but it's an amazing thing indeed. I will classify it as a mix between a sandbox and an RPG. The sandbox element comes from the fact that every single player can do whatever they want in the missions, and they will actually try to create their own freaking super epic adventures. And the RPG because you're actually playing someone who lives in a particular setting, and you're actually trying to adapt and trying to understand how everything works in order to make it work even better. Manage democracy to all. It's indeed an amazing thing. I will qualify it to that. It's a sandbox game in the sense that if you strip away the whole Helldivers setting and you put a new setting to it, you have a pretty solid experience. You have a pretty solid new thing that you can create, which is super great. Very well. Any last questions? I'm about to go. We have actually reached the time limit, I will say. It was an amazing stream though, it was so much fun. So, any other thing to say? Any other question? Any other recommendation, etc.? I will make a poll for the channel's members later. Please, every single one of you, vote, because I need every single vote in order to break the tie. So. Tell me, any questions? Anyone who's still here? Ask away. And then I will be lurking in the Discord if you want to talk about something else. But tell me about it. Do you have any other thing? Any other question? I will wait. We have 5 minutes. What are you having for lunch? I have no idea. I have no idea. That's a pretty good question indeed. Something, I guess? I don't know. Oh. But I'm pretty hungry, so something I will go to eat. I will go to eat something in a second. Very well. We still have 3 minutes going. Very well. But I think there will be no more questions. Okay. Well, then, unless a question is throw here in a second, I will just say thank you very much everybody for coming, watching, hearing me talk. Thank you for coming to this class. We'll have another one next weekend. Thank you, Disculpa31. Thank you to the channel members, Brian P, Saturn Kara, and, of course, Slipcase Studio. Thank you for being members of the channel. You mean a lot to me because, well, thank you. Thank you, Danny Pine, for being here and for arriving here. No, there is no questions. I can see that, Danny. Savage, thank you for being here. Bones, thank you also for being here. Thanks a lot for being the beautiful moderators that you always are. Thanks a lot. Ask Banana Pie, I hope you're having a good time over there. And who else was here? I know there was someone here. Ezekiel Brown, thank you for coming too. Thank you, all of you. I hope you have a beautiful start of the week. So, see you guys someday, everyone. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye. Bye.